Hello. We are the Grand Tetons. Go Cubs go. The Cubs hat approaching quickly. I look like Steve Bartman. With like the collar. Steve Bartman here. Not jinxing the Cubs. Good luck charming the Cubs, because we're down 1-2 currently today. It's October 9th, 2025. We are down in the series to the Brewers. We need to not lose to the little brother Brewers. Hurts me when they win. But mark my words, we're about to make a comeback. Tonight's the night we make a comeback and we win. And we go on a run, because no place is better, truly, in America. No place is better to be in October than Wrigley Field during a playoff game. It's crazy. It's nuts. It's the greatest experience on earth. Greatest show on earth. What's up, y'all? Welcome in. We are in the Grand Tetons. Behold, God's glorious creation, dude. I've fallen in love with this place. I've been here in Yellowstone for like the last week and a half, kind of exploring, camping, walking around, hiking. Hiked 2 mountains. That's pretty cool. Hiked a mountain in Yellowstone, hiked a mountain in the Grand Tetons. Not these. I did not hike these. You can't really tell from the depth perception, but these are so insanely big. It's crazy. The colors on the side of the mountain, the fall leaves changing colors. The off in the distance, the snow caps. I mean, you can see a little bit of the snow, but different mountains, they're snow capped, glaciers. Nuts, man. This place is truly, truly amazing. And it's been a blessing to be able to explore it, enjoy it for the last week. It's really like changed me. I feel like in the last 2 weeks, I have just evolved into a different human being. Like, I have become so, I don't know, just better in so many ways. Physically, emotionally, philosophically, spiritually, like everything has just been amazing. And I feel like I'm like high. I feel like ever since I've been here, I've been on this like crazy high. I mean, like literally high. Like I'm not from here, so being like 7,000 feet above sea level, it is maybe a little bit of a contributing factor to that, like the dizziness, the airheadedness, or whatever. But I just feel like in a state of like, I don't know how to put the right word on it that doesn't sound like I'm a druggie or a degenerate. But you know what I mean? Just like a spiritual goodness, a wholeness, a completion to my life. It's been good. It's been awesome. It's been peaceful. It's been blissful. It's been challenging. There's been like problems and challenges to overcome that have added to it. You know what I mean? Insights and revelations I've had about myself and, you know, family and friends and just my life and my mission. It's been good. It's been a really awesome, amazing 2 weeks spent with God in his beautiful, glorious creation. One of the greatest. I would argue it's probably one of the greatest creations he's made. Besides you, you know? Besides you, though, you're probably number one. You see off in the distance, La Jefa? I gotta get better about directing my glasses in the direct direction where this camera's. I keep missing out on cool stuff. But if you can see that, that's La Jefa, baby. We're parked. That's this crazy mountain range. I think that's the Shoshone Mountains off in the distance. I could be wrong about that. I get real confused about what the name of a specific mountain is out here versus like a mountain range. And when you're from here, or you visit here a lot, or you've been here a lot, it kind of makes more sense to you. You know, you become more familiar with it. But me, a big dumb idiot, driving into town for the first ever time being in here, in this state, in this place. Yeah, been confusing a lot of stuff. Sioux Falls and Sioux City was blowing my mind. I was there for like a couple days, and I just little things like that when you live there, I'm sure it's so normal and like so like duh. Like, bro, come on. Bruh. But, you know, a big dumb idiot like me doesn't really know what's going on. I roll into town, I'm like, what's up? What's up? How you doing? What are we talking about today? I'm laughing and joking now, but we're gonna get into some serious stuff because I feel like we got to cover it for some reasons. But yeah, what's up with you? How's your life been? Sorry to like brag, sorry to like boast, you know, but like once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm here. It's been amazing. It's been awesome. It's been a heck of a time, and I want to share it. I want to not be selfish about it. I want to share it. I also did do a lot of selfish me time though. A lot of, you know, campsites and mountain hikes that are a little little nerve-wracking when there's no signal and you're by yourself on a mountain climbing, and every like half mile there's a sign that says be aware of bears. like have mace ready, be afraid of bears, there are bears here. And I'm like by myself on a mountain like 4 miles off of like where I parked, like off of the road, off of a parking place. Haven't seen a person in 30 minutes, zero signal. That's man up time, man. That's when you have, that's literally, like I think I talked about it earlier, the streams I did before this of driving around, but I literally just have a machete in one hand and bear mace in the other, just ready to go. Literally ready to go. A sheath machete. I have a sheath for the machete like a sword, but I'm literally just in the woods, woodsman Sean, with a backpack of survival supplies, medical supplies, a machete in one hand, bear mace in the other. Come at me, bro. Come after me, bro. I am prepared, but it is freaky. It's freaky enough just like when you're driving in the middle of nowhere with no signal. It's next level to be like camping somewhere, like at a campsite. I've never really done by myself camping, but you know what I mean? Like a campground, a campsite where others are with no signal. Even that's a little unnerving and freaky, you know? But to be like here, like you're just out here. Oh, you're out here, baby. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when nature comes at you? When nature comes for you? When you are attacked, what are you gonna do? Surrender or fight? That is history, right? That is all of history. But let's get serious, because we do want to be serious. We do want to be respectful as possible of the upcoming topics at hand today, because we're going to talk a little bit about Charlie Kirk, turning point, everything that went down. It's like I said, it's October 9th. It's been almost exactly 1 month since the public assassination of Charlie Kirk, which was really brutal, man. It was like gut-wrenching. It hit me really hard. And we're going to talk about this. We'll talk. I have a lot of notes that I want to make sure I cover everything pretty well, that I'm not like an idiot that skips over the points he's making or the argument, the general point of his argument, misspeaks, etc. You know me. You know me. So I want to be better. I want to do better. So I got some notes. We'll read a little bit of my thoughts. It just really hit me, and I think it hit a lot of you guys out there too, because I bet most of my audience are white males. Most of you are probably white Christian American males like myself. And to see like a white American Christian male get brutally, unjustifiably slaughtered like that, just publicly, you know, in front of everyone, on everyone's phones, in front of everyone's faces. It was brutal, man. It was brutal. It hit us deep in the belly, you know, especially, and we'll get into it, but like the reactions afterwards. You know, some were amazing and some were despicable and horrible. It was like a nightmare and a dream, seeing how it brought people together, how it woke some people up on some things, but also just how depraved and crazy and angry some people are out there, you know? So yeah, I guess first, I mean, just rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, you know? If that's real. I mean, I've been praying that it's like not even real, you know? I want to believe the conspiracies. I want it to be a hoax. Because that's so brutal and it's so unfair and it's so gross. What happened to him and what people did afterwards, you know. And so I mean, if it is real, one way or another, man, that's so crazy, that's so insane, and really, truly, man, if it's real, if it's how they're telling us, I hope his soul rests in peace, and I hope he's enjoying his reward in heaven right now. You know, I hope he has gone home to his Father in heaven and is enjoying the treasures that he stored up and built for himself in his unfortunately short time here in this place with us. So if it's real, I mean, if he is gone, I mean, that's so nuts, that's so crazy, that's so insane, it's so gross. You know, for my black friends out there to relate with us, a white Christian man, American man, for all my black folks out there, I'd be like, you know, it was like when we lost Nipsey Hussle, which also, rest in peace, man. It's like a good dude who was like destined to do great things, cut down too soon, you know? Agree with them or not, like them or not, beef with them or not, you know. Just is like this undeniable truth that like he was young, he didn't deserve it, there was a future ahead of him, and a lot of good in store. And you could even tell maybe there was some evolution happening, there was some overcoming happening, like the leveling up of the hero's journey, where it's like the corner is starting to be turned, you know. Good things are really about to start happening. The victory, the battle's about to take place, and the victory's ahead. And then just like cut down unfairly in just a stupid, gross way, you know. Or like old head. I mean, Nipsey Hussle for my black folks, for my old heads, it'd be like, or not my old head, my young heads out there, all my young Gen Zers and stuff. It would be like XXX Tentacion. You know, it just is like a person who didn't deserve it, gone too soon, and what could have been, you know. And it like just sits with us uneasy. It kind of sits with anyone, at least with like a moral conscience, at least with like a soul still fully intact, you know, with love and light in their hearts. Like it just can't not sit unwell. And I mean, I guess I could just start listing off names and people and all these different, you know, situations like that have happened like that, but it really just hits you on a deeper level. It resonates deeper, and if you know, you know, I guess, right? It was brutal, man. And I mean, either way, just I am and have been praying for his children. I mean, even we'll get into the conspiracy stuff, but like, real or not, his kids have just gone through hell, man. I mean, real or not, it's like they have gone through a lot of confusion and hell and heartbreak and loss, and it's so unfair to them, man. And they'll be used like pawns. And you know, they lost the father, they lost the man who's supposed to be like disciplining them and teaching them and correcting them and inspiring them and motivating them, you know. Like they're just not going to have that guy in their lives for the rest of their lives. And he would have been a good father. He clearly loved those kids, he clearly treated them well. It's brutal, man. It hurts. It hurts. And we need more good fathers, and we need good fathers for children. So yeah, it's brutal. You know, agree with him or not. Like if you disagree with his politics, it's another thing to just see him as a family man. Him as like a loving, caring, loving, truly loving. I can just keep saying that word, but it's true. You could see it in the videos and the clips and everything that came out after, you know. He clearly loved those kids. He would have loved those kids. And now they don't have that for the rest of their lives, man. And that's really something that we need to be praying for. Not just the week it happened or the month you know, now it's a month later. I mean, for the next 20 years, be praying for those kids, man. They need it. They're really going to need it. So let's read what I wrote before I start rambling and repeating myself like crazy. So yeah, Charlie was undeniably hardworking and dedicated, courageous, honest, principled. He was a true preacher in the true sense of the word. Even though he wasn't a pastor or like a leader of an actual church, he was a preacher, man. Preacher of the gospel, a servant of Christ, and again, just a very loving husband and a loving father, as far as we know. I mean, who knows? I mean, that's just what we're shown. That's his public life. That's what we've heard from family and friends, but it'd be really hard to cover that up. Easier to cover some other stuff up. Hard to cover that up if that is not true, what we've seen, all the evidence we've been shown, right? He was a fact. He was a white American Christian man. Like me, probably like you or like your loved ones. You know, be your brother, your cousin, your friend, your coworker. You know, and he wasn't really that extreme. I mean, honestly, he wasn't a Nazi armband wearing Hail Hitler guy. I mean, he was your grandpa. He was Mr. Rogers. He was like literally just a conservative from the 70s in America. He wasn't a goose stepping, you know, black leather wearing Nazi, you know, like people like make him out to be. He was just literally Mr. Rogers. He was the guy we grew up. He was grandpa. He was grandpa and great grandpa. I'm more extreme than him. So, I mean, if anyone out there can relate to either him or being a little more right or a little more quote unquote extreme than him, having a little more out there views, I mean, it's gotta hit. It's gotta hurt. It's gotta you know? It's got to affect you at least a little bit, touch you at least a little bit, make you at least a little bit queasy, a little uneasy, right? You know, in a very quick, short window of time. I mean, just 10 years. The guy was 30. He started when he was in his teens, but like really for just like the last 10 years, like since the 2016 election to now, he's become a powerful symbol online. Like him or not, hate him or not, agree with him or not, be on the left or be even more right than he is. It's undeniable that he just became the symbol in a very short period of time for just the way America has been, right? White American Christian man, conservative, wants small government, wants, you know, traditional family values, wants to promote Christianity, like wholesome, doesn't cuss, doesn't, you know, drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't promote that stuff, gambling, all that stuff. He just became a symbol for just kind of like what America has been for the last 150 years, really, if not for its entirety. Inevitably, you're going to get some kind of force that pushes back against that, I guess is the right way to say that. You know, eventually you're going to get people, you're going to get rebellious people, you know, you're going to get atheist people and not white people. You're going to get brown and Asian and whatever other color, any other race that's not the traditional what America has been, you know. You're going to have feminists and women empowerment, and you're going to have like socialists and gays. I mean, you're just going to have revolutionaries and different and people who are advocating for change in this country by default oppose the symbol that was Charlie Kirk. You know, if you are opposed to the way America has been, if you're opposed to that, then Charlie Kirk is the symbol of that. So therefore you hate Charlie Kirk. You then therefore demonize Charlie Kirk. You then therefore justify murdering Charlie Kirk because of you think you're right. You think you're on the victor's side. You do think that change needs to happen in this country. And if you can kill the symbol of what America has been, then maybe you can pave the way for what America can be. And I mean, like it or not, whatever side you're on or not, good or not, I mean, it is evil, but either way, it's just reality. It's what happened. It's what it is. He literally had freedom on his shirt and he was executed. Silenced without trial and defenseless. Innocent. You know, by someone who sought to hurt others. Someone who sought to hurt others, who was a revenge seeker, who was a rebel, who wanted to see change in this country. So he tried to kill what he believed to be like a roadblock, standing in his way of that. And a human body that he could hurt in retaliation for the hurt that he felt. Yeah, literally silenced freedom. I mean, shot him in the neck. I mean, it literally was like a symbolic, poetic, freedom is silenced by the people who hate what this country has been, you know, a free country. A free, liberated country, for the most part, quote unquote, you know. But if you're going to attack America, you're going to have to attack its basic rights, rights to own guns, right to free speech. What better way than to silence freedom, destroy freedom, eliminate it, kill what America has been so that you can try to attempt to make it into something you want it to be. So here's the official story. This is what they tell us. This is the Wikipedia, this is the news reports, this is what they're telling us to our faces, like we're idiots. But this is like what they're telling us and just saying like, this is real, this is true, believe this. So here's the official story of what happened to Charlie Kirk about exactly a month ago. Some angry loser kid steals his family's rifle, climbs a roof on campus with it during a Turning Point USA campus event, perfectly shoots Charlie Kirk over 400 feet away in one shot with a 30-06 bullet inscribed with gay internet phrases. Tyler Robinson then climbs down the buildings, hides the rifle in a wooded area, walks to Dairy Queen, caught on camera during this all. Every movement, every step of it is caught on camera. He confesses to people online, and his transgender boyfriend, he confesses to also. Then his father, who convinces him with his pastor and his father convince him to turn himself in to police. But now afterwards, he is not complying. He's denying he was involved. Supposedly, there's tons of evidence, and everyone's pretty sure he's going to be found guilty based on the evidence. They're claiming he's the guy. He's the lone gunman. Took one shot, killed Charlie Kirk. We got him, boys. Don't worry. Don't worry, the FBI got him. Case closed. Resume your normal lives. Go back to your normally scheduled programming. We got him. And just, it just sounds super sus. I'm just going to say it, man. It all just, I have a thing where God has given me like maybe the spiritual gift of discernment, the spiritual gift of like just kind of feeling when something's off, I would like there to be a very clear, direct message in front of my face that says this is what it is. But usually I just get a feeling that like I'm being lied to or I'm being tricked or something's up. This is not good. This person's not good. This place is not good. This situation is just not good. And I've learned to just go like, all right, I trust you, Lord. I trust you, Holy Spirit. I will see myself out of this person's life or this situation or this place. I will just see myself out. And that is exactly this whole thing. I mean, this whole last month has been a lot of me just going like, all right, I'm out. That's my cue. Hey, can I get the check? Hey, waiter, can I get the check over here? I'm out. I'm out of here. I'm not sticking around to find out. I'm not getting my fingers involved. I'm not getting my hands dirty in any way. Hands up. I'm out. I will see myself out. Have fun, guys. Have fun with it all. Because it all sounds super sus, to say the least. I mean, they remodeled the crime scene. I mean, I do that. I did hardscape. I did blue collar work. I did construction. It's very hard to just, like, if you're going to go to just someone's house, like someone's private residence, and like rip up like a bunch of concrete and repave some kind of new structure, with crews and machines and materials you need and budgets and planning and who's being contracted and like getting permits from the city and zoning stuff. And you have to pay to have gas people come out and spray gas lines. And, there's a lot of coordinating and phone calls and stuff. Project managers are busy doing a bunch of stuff, coordinating job sites, and to just think that they are remodeling that area on a public campus like that, even if I don't know if it's a public or private campus, but you know what I mean? Like in the open, in an open area of a college campus, which is a crazy bureaucracy with like checks and balances, and just a lot of mess involved in pulling off some kind of remodeling project kind of last minute like that is very sus. That's one of those things that I just know. Like I just know I've worked those projects. I am becoming a project manager. I've been a site supervisor. I've worked those jobs. There's a lot that goes into it that isn't just like, oh, next week, let's go pull off this operation. Let's rip a bunch of concrete out of the ground and then repave a bunch of concrete in a very open, public, shared space, It's not easy to move materials in and out of a campus. It's not easy to move machines you need to use in and out of campus. Trucks, trailers, you have supervisors coming. Again, there's like stuff you have to wait. You have to wait on the gas line people to come spray the gas. You have to wait, to mark the gas lines. You have to wait for, approval from the city. You have to wait for approval from the county. You have to wait for, there's a lot of stuff that takes time. And to just think that like maybe a week or two after that event, they have like already started this giant project there last minute because I don't know, it's off. I'm not buying it. I'm not believing it. So when they tell me with a straight face, like this is normal, this is fine, this isn't a red flag, nothing to see here. Well, then I'm like, well, there's definitely something to see here because I know that's not normal and that doesn't happen. And that's extremely difficult to pull off. So whatever. I mean, we'll just read my questions. I'll stop rambling. I'll stop ranting. Here are some questions I just have. That's one question is how did they remodel that? How did they pull off starting and or finishing that remodeling project on that scene, a site that it happened in less than a month? I want to know that. That'd be interesting. I'd be interesting if I could like interview the project manager and find out, because that'd be really, really impressive how they did that. But what's up with the security team signals? You know, all the like creepy, weird hand signals they did. That was weird. What about the guy who perfectly timed the countdown of the shot? You see that? There's a video of a guy going 5. He's signaling 5, and then he signals 4. And I think he might have skipped maybe when he goes like 1. He goes like 1 minute. And then exactly a minute later is when the shot is fired, supposedly. That was weird, right? Isn't that kind of weird that like someone in the crowd like perfectly counted down to the second, you know? What's that other weird guy too that turned the second after the shot rang out, he kind of distracted the police and people around by just claiming that he was the one who took the shot when he didn't. That's kind of weird. What was up with that? What was up with that? You know, what's up with the blood spilling out weird? You know, apparently, according to blood experts, there's a lot of problems with what happened with the blood. I think I have them written down here. You know, people say it was a blood pack. It had to have been some kind of like fake blood and some kind of device that was ejecting the blood. Because if it was actually something about the blood when it is in your neck is very thin. It has to be very thin, maybe like either because it's like more oxygenated or less oxygenated. I think maybe less oxygenated. Correct me if I'm wrong, nurses and doctors or medical professionals, because I'm just going by what I saw, what I seen. But supposedly that blood is supposed to be very thin and would spurt very like different colors in a very like more liquidy way than like the chunky way it did kind of spill out. And I don't even want to think about it. I don't like blood. I mean, it's gross. I hate it. I don't want to think about it. But it's just interesting that like actual experts are like, no, that's not real. Like that's not real. That's interesting. There's no splatter on the tent. People said there should have been splatter on the white tent. There was none. There should have been blood on the ground as they were carrying him to the car. There wasn't any. There was no cleanup crew required because there was no blood trail. And supposedly if he got hit where he was hit, how he was hit, people say that there should have been a lot of blood. And as they were carrying him, it should have been a lot of blood on the people and on the ground. And there just wasn't. There wasn't really blood on people or on the ground. There's also those weird ladies that were like operationally recording it. Like not panicking, not freaking out, just recording. And then they were giving signals to each other and making like movements to like get in place so that they could each record the different angles of them carrying his body from the tent to the car. That's kind of weird, right? It's kind of weird of them to do that. It was almost like they were like paid to do that. It was almost like they were like like they knew the situation was happening and they were strategically trying to get all the correct right angles, you know? And they looked very coordinated together and they looked very serious and not very panicked. It's pretty weird. It's just pretty strange, man. What's up with the ring changing hands? It might have been AI doctored footage. That's pretty weird. The fact that his ring was on his ring finger and then, you know, frame by frame motion, you kind of slow down the videotape, it like switches and becomes on his pinky finger, like pretty clearly. You know, it's usually kind of what AI does, right? It makes those subtle little small mistakes like that. So that was just kind of weird. You know, what about all the slow motion, frame by frame? You know, everyone on the internet, especially people who like to think it's a hoax, just digging through and looking at every single little frame and every little piece of evidence they can find, you know, and how it's pretty obvious that like the bullet went up, that like the force went up his shirt like this, you know. It's pretty strange. You know, because they say it came down. They say it actually came down from up on top of a building down to his neck. But actually the frame by frame shows the force going like from maybe his like right hip up to about his left neck. It's kind of weird. It's just strange. You know, there's a lot of weird things with that lavalier microphone in that same general area. You know, there's some people that say it might have been like an Israeli exploding pager kind of thing. You know, maybe one of those is like those plant bombs. Like, you know, you remember when the Israelis like put bombs in pagers and gave them to their enemies and then blew them up and killed people with them? It's just as strange. It's almost like that could have been like a very similar thing. Like maybe there was like a little mini explosion or a little mini like gunshot on like a lavalier microphone, or maybe like a pager esque device that they put about right here that would kind of match up with the direction of the slow by slow frame of how the force went. But that's crazy conspiracy people talking about that. Just want to know what's up with it. It's just strange. It's just interesting. I have questions. Again, I'm not one way or the other here. I have questions. What's up with the complex they had to remodel? It was like shaped in the shape of a menorah. It's pretty weird. Must have just been a coincidence. That Valhalla comment has, to this day, makes me mad. It's driving me up the wall. It's really grinding my gears here. What's his name? Cashapp? What's his name? Cashapp Patel. Him saying that whole thing about like, yeah, I'll see you in Valhalla, Charlie. Looks in the camera and just says, I'll see you in Valhalla. Something about that just doesn't feel right. It seems so sketchy. It either is like a weird code word, like maybe he knows Charlie's not dead and he's like speaking a code worded message to him. Like, I'll meet you in, remember that secret spot Valhalla? Remember that? I'll see you there, buddy. Or, or whatever. It's just good, authentic. Let's just say it's real. Let's say it's authentic and just a guy who's wishing his buddy who just died well. It's just, come on, man. You couldn't say heaven. I mean, he can't say heaven because he's not a Christian, which is a problem. We have Christians. We have not Christians running our FBI. We have foreign people who are not Christians running our FBI, and Donald Trump, a supposed Christian, is the one who appointed him. It's just like, make it make sense. Like why don't we have like a Christian man running the FBI, like a Christian American man, regardless of his race, but just a Christian American man running the FBI? Can it not be a guy who like worships Siddhartha or whatever? I'm trying to think. I read the Bhagavad Gita. I'm trying to think of those names. Vishnu, Krishna, Vishnu, destroyer. I am become destroyer of worlds. Yeah, maybe the guy that worships that guy, maybe he shouldn't be running our government. Maybe he shouldn't be at a crucial position in our government, What other? I mean, 33s everywhere, just 33s all over the whole news reports and crime scene and everything. That's funny. That's weird. Trump has been a little weird, right? Hasn't Trump been a little weird throughout all this? Hasn't he? Just seems to like not even really care. He doesn't really seem to miss his friend. Didn't really seem to care like the whole week afterwards. He was like talking about remodeling the White House. He was like talking about like all this remodeling stuff, like the day after his supposed friend died and like a really crucial political ally of his died. Good man. This is weird. He had a weird little hug there with Erica, right? Where he was kind of like thrusting. It was weird, man. You can say I'm weird for thinking it, but there was like a weird little thrusty hug going on between the two very publicly. That was kind of weird. JD Vance has been totally trying to make himself seem like Charlie Kirk's best friend, right? putting his dirty little hands on the casket and going on every single podcast talking about how Charlie was his best friend and how Charlie thought he should be president. It's a little weird. It's a little gross. All the photo ops. So it's been a lot of look at me from JD Vance lately, It's been a lot of, hey guys, look at me from JD Vance. And I wonder why that is. Yeah, what's up with no autopsy? Something that happened. He gets publicly executed, shot in the neck, and there's apparently just not an autopsy. Apparently there's no grave. I don't know if that's true or not. Apparently there was no church funeral for him. I don't know if that's true or not. Apparently his own family hasn't really been like saying anything about anything, and they haven't quote unquote confirmed he's even dead. I'm not, I don't know. It's just interesting. It's just out there. Those texts between the killer and his boyfriend. his tranny boyfriend. Just 100% fake, obviously, like laughably fake, like the most fakest AI generated or boomer generated text messages ever. You know what I mean? Just a lot of weird stuff. No death certificate. Why'd the killer go to Dairy Queen? Like Luigi Mangione, another suspicious thing where he went to McDonald's, where there's a lot of cameras and bright lights to perfectly get your face and your clothing very publicly accounted for and documented, right? Just weird, just shady. That wooded area that the gun was in being Palantir owned, that's weird. No, there's no rifle. The guy didn't have any rifle on any of the security camera. I mean, we don't have a single image or video of the kid carrying the rifle that supposedly took the shot anywhere. Going through the neighborhoods or climbing up the building or at Dairy Queen, the kid just like didn't have the rifle that they said he had. It's a little weird. But all like the shadows that are inconsistent on the videos, showing that it was probably either AI or at least photoshopped and manipulated and doctored, Nobody else on the videos. It's always just the killer, the supposed killer guy. No other human beings around. That's weird. Almost like it was AI generated or something. No manifesto, no accomplices. One shot, perfect shot. Some kid 400 feet away, just perfect shot with a 30-06 right in the neck, one shot. It's weird. Strange. It's just fishy, It's just really fishy. The fact that Charlie was in a freedom shirt, a shirt that just literally said the words freedom and then was shot in the neck. That's a little weird, to say the least. And we're just supposed to believe it was a lone gunman. We're just supposed to believe it's a lone gunman. We're just supposed to believe all that. And if you dare question it, like right now, you're just getting mad and you're heated and you're just like, I can't believe he doesn't believe the story. I can't believe it. Again, I'm out. Again, guys, I'm out, man. Have fun. Have fun. Have fun. Get angry, get sad, be emotionally manipulated, have your feelings hurt, bent and twisted in every direction by the stuff you see on your screens. But I don't play that. I don't play the how dare you. How dare you fall in line or else I'm going to call you bad names or mean names or get you censored. Like if you don't know me, I don't play that. We don't do that around here. We don't do that around here in these parts. And yeah, let's just get into it. This is going to sound insensitive. This is going to sound inconsiderate. This is going to sound disrespectful. But I have questions. I have thoughts. I have doubts. This does sound really shady and weird and gross to me. The event itself and then the aftermath. Like the aftermath. And it's been a month. It's been a month since. And in that month since, we have, in my opinion, just stuff that doesn't seem to make sense. I'll just say that simply. I lost my dad a year ago, coming up on a year ago, last December. And for a week to about a month, I was like pretty unoperable. I was just in shock. It was insane. I literally felt like empty. I felt destroyed. I was in disbelief. That's the word. It's just unbelievable. I couldn't believe it happened. It shocked me. It's so sad. I couldn't stop crying. I kept trying to, around family and friends, be composed, hold it together, be the strong one in the family, be the man, okay, do you need help? Try to be the guy that's helping others. Oh, I'll be the man, I'll be strong. And I'm just literally trying to fight back tears at all times. I'm just a mess, dude. I couldn't do math, just simple function things. I just was cloudy. My brain, my thoughts, everything was just, my life felt like it ended when I lost my dad. So much regret. The remorse, the sadness, but also just the me being mad at myself. I could have done more. I could have said more. I wish we did more together. There's a lot of anger and frustration and sadness. Good man dies when it was unfair. It didn't feel fair. A mix of anger and sadness or whatever, motivation. pretending like it's not real on the outside to other people. And just kind of living in like a zombie state, pretending to be put together. But there was a lot of sadness, man. I mean, a lot of sadness. There was laughs like I do, like I try to make myself laugh to like not live in that, to get myself out of it. Hey, just laugh yourself out of your sadness. Hey, laugh yourself out of your despair. Hey, laugh yourself. The reminder that life is short and God is good and everything will be all right. Let's force a laugh out. Let's make a weird joke right now to kind of laugh yourself out of it. But there was no giddiness. There was no joy. There was no happiness. There was no laughy, joke. The Sean you see today is, me on most days are good days. You're seeing Sean on a good day where he hits record and he's laughing and he's joking, he's enjoying life. And I mean, it's been 9-10 months. There's still horrible days I have where I just can barely function. I feel like I'm going through the motions, cloudy in thought, like still sad about him. And I'm going to be honest, man, it feels like Erica Kirk and some of his closest friends, Charlie Kirk that is, really aren't. It really, again, just isn't sitting well with me. And again, my only reaction is just, I'm out. I don't know them. I'm not friends with them. I'm not involved with them. I never will be. Like, I'm not a political guy. I'm not a, just whatever. I'm not on their team. I'm not around their team. I'm not playing their game. But it just, as an observer, as a commenter, as a man with opinions and a living man on the land who just is free to have a thought. Can a brother have a thought? Can a brother live? Can a brother share his thoughts out loud publicly in a national park, the people's land? It just doesn't sit right, man. It doesn't feel right. What she's been doing and saying, it doesn't really feel at all like someone who authentically just lost her husband, who just lost the father of her children. Which makes me think, and also makes me hope, that this is fake. That Charlie, it was an elaborate blood pack in his shirt, and it was like a weird like thing in the lavalier that ejected force and made it look like he got shot. And it was all fake. It was basically like a paintball gun, and everyone's just in on it. And for some reason he wanted out, but they killed the brand that was Charlie Kirk. They killed the trademark. The name that was Charlie Kirk is quote unquote dead. But the real guy is like not. He's actually with his family. He's actually with his daughters, and everything's good. That's kind of what I hope. Like, I actually pray and hope that that's the case. Because if not, the way his wife and his friends have been acting is disgusting. Again, as someone who doesn't know them, who's an outside observer and commenter, it feels very gross, very dark, very gross. She just seems very put together. She seems, for someone who just lost her husband unexpectedly, her 30-year-old partner in life, her other half, the father of her 2 children. She seems very put together. She seems very energized, very happy, very giddy, very laugh, joke. I'm excited. She has this very tone where she's like, I'm excited to be the CEO now. Yeah, let's go. Let's do this. And I'm sorry, but I couldn't muster up that if I tried to fake it with all my heart, soul, and might the month after my dad died. Be like, yeah, let's go. I'm excited. Woo, everything's good. It's okay. Laughing and giggling. And, even if I was to tell a happy story about my dad, usually by the end of it, I'm trying to fight back tears because of how sad it was making that, like, he wasn't here anymore. The good times would remind me. The good memories, the recounting him and his life and his legacy and what he was doing, my dad, that is, it would bring me a lot of joy hearing stories or telling stories about him. And then it would be sadness. I mean, it would be like, it sets in of just like, oh yeah, he's not here anymore. He's not with us anymore. That sucks. There's not like a happy, giddy, let's go get him fight, fight, fight. Everything's going to be okay. And just carrying that note, it just doesn't feel right to me, man. It feels gross. That's all I'm saying. They really are doing all they can to maximize the moment as well. Seem to be using it for their own personal gain and political power. Not just Erica, not just Turning Point USA, but the Republican Party. And just people on the internet. Everyone with a podcast that says, I'm his friend. I had him on my podcast. We were best friends. He was my best friend. It's like he had 85,000 best friends. Everyone's got to maximize. Everyone's got to make his death about themselves, right? It's really gross, man. Using that memorial service for him, you know, getting a stadium and shooting off fireworks and having a memorial service where you just had basically stump speeches from politicians. You had policy speeches from politicians at his memorial. I mean, this is crazy, dude. Entrance music, fireworks. It's like literally was like WrestleMania. It was like WrestleMania. It was the Republican National Convention. It was light shows and fireworks, you know, theme music and dancing and laughing and cheers. And, you know, I know a memorial is supposed to be a celebration of life, a let's be happy. And, you know, maybe he didn't want us to all be sad, but, you know, there's just not a lot of like people wearing black and people crying. There's not a lot of people really, really torn up by the fact that he was not just died, but like brutally assassinated, like shot in the fucking head, man. And they just seem to kind of be good. Everything's okay. Let's win. Let's win the next election, guys. Let's really get out there and make sure we're winning the next election and fixing this government. Just at his memorial service, man. Feels so gross, dude. Just feels so evil. I don't know him. I don't know if it is or not. I hope I'm wrong. But man, it's weird. The tone was celebratory. And usually when like you have a memorial service where you're trying to be celebratory about someone's death, it's like you can kind of tell they're attempting to celebrate. They are trying to celebrate. They are like pretending like I was. Be strong, be hopeful, be optimistic, be like, you know, don't cry in front of your family, be strong, be the one that's composed and together and pushing everyone towards, you know, a hopeful, good ending. But it feels forced and people can tell it's forced because it is forced. And this whole memorial service thing, I mean, in the moment, I think a lot of people were duped by it and fooled by it. A lot of my close friends seem to be. But, you know, now just take a step back, take a little bit of a step back. Don't trip and fall and die in a national park, Sean, but take a little step back from it now and look at it and just see that the tone was very celebratory, like in a serious way, as if they just won an election, as if they just won a trophy, you know, an accomplishment was made at the man's memorial service, you know. And if he really died, like, dude, he just died a week ago, 2 weeks ago. It's literally like they're like dancing on his grave, you know? It's crazy. It's gross. Feels gross, man. I'm not going to lie. Feels gross. A good man, innocent man, loving husband and father, likely going to be future president one day. Leader of one of the larger political movements in this country. One of the most well-connected men in this country. Networking wise, that is. Shot in the neck, dude. If the story's true, if that really happened, dude, he just was like publicly shot in the neck. Like, that is so brutal. That's so crazy. That's so insane. That's so dark. That's so evil. And 2 weeks later, we're shooting off fireworks and dancing and laughing and joking and celebrating. It just feels weird, man. At this event, too, what are they doing? They're raising money. They're registering voters. They're like having commentary, like it's the Super Bowl. They literally have like Super Bowl commenters with like the headphones on, doing commentary during the memorial for his death. It's crazy, man. I hope it's fake. I hope it's fake. If it's not, if it's real and this is how they're all acting in the month after his death, It's really shameful. It's really gross, and it's really dark. And I guarantee you that there's something up, and a lot of his friends and close people and his people close to him in his life are kind of in on it. And that's really dark, and that's really shameful, and I don't want it to be the case. I'm sure you at home too are like in denial about this being a conspiracy, or that like their family, his family and friends being in on it, because it just is so dark. It's so shady. And it's like if they can pull it off like they supposedly have, what else are they pulling off? Like it really is an unsettling feeling of like how dark and how evil people can get, and also how fake our reality and our world can be. Our society, our environment, our lives, the people in our lives, the events on our screens and in our lives, how fake and manipulated they can be. We kind of just don't want to believe that's true, right? So we deny conspiracy. So we just go, okay, yeah, they told us it was a lone gunman. They told us it was some kid, some mad kid climbed a building, took one shot, perfectly nailed his target all by himself, climbed off the roof, went home, turned himself in. We got him. Cashapp Patel and his army of Hindus. Oh, don't worry, they got him, guys. They got him. They got him. Erica Iron Man Kirk. Erica coming out to fireworks and striking a pose like Iron Man. Erica Kirk giving speeches, laughing, joking on podcasts, cracking jokes, just taking over as CEO of his company, like a multi-million, $100 million a year company. One of the biggest widespread campuses all over the country, so much going on. And she's just now like working. I mean, she's just 2 weeks after her husband's death, the father of her children's death, she's just, not only is she working, but she has fully become the CEO of her husband's company, which is a massive, large political, really entrenched all over the country, really well networked, and resources everywhere, funding everywhere. There's a lot going on, man. And she's just is like girl bossing her way into the CEO role just 2 weeks after his death. Yeah. Again, I hope it's fake. I hope that he has. I really, truly just hope that Charlie, the best case scenario in my mind about everything that has happened, the thing I think that put me at most at peace with everything is if he's totally in on it, the whole thing was faked. In a year or two, they come out and say it was a goof, and he has been witness protection. Like they took his, and he gets to hang out with his kids a couple times a month, and see his parents and stuff. And I just hope that's my best case scenario, is that the brand that was Charlie Kirk, the name Charlie Kirk, was killed in this theatrical staged event. And in reality, the real guy who was born Charlie Kirk is now like Jonathan Timmons, Jonathan Timbottom, and he is, lives 30 miles away from his kids. So they still have a father. That's my hope. That's my prayer. No matter what, for real though, I'm praying for his kids, because no matter what, real or fake or not, they're going through hell and trauma right now. But their mom is girl bossing her way up to the CEO position. They're just with nanny. Where are they at during the day? They're just with nannies now. They don't have a mom or a dad. Their mom is girl bossing her way up to the CEO of a major political organization in this country. Her dad is supposedly dead, and they'll never see him again. It's just hell, man. Those kids, real or fake or whatever, man, it's really not fair to them. This whole thing's been insane and crazy. I find it weird how a widow has stepped into the CEO role of her husband's company, has delivered 2 speeches, tens of photo ops, and is already going on podcasts just 2 weeks after her husband was assassinated, instead of being home with her 2 young children who just lost their father, or the family who just lost their son. Allegedly. I hope it's allegedly. I hope it's fake, man. If not, it's gross the way they're acting and behaving. It's gross. It's shameful. It's despicable. It's evil. And I'm out, man. I'm out on it all. I'm out on it all. I'm not buying it. Have fun. Y'all have fun. Y'all have fun with that. Dead or alive, killed or staged, real or scripted. I'm out. I have a lot of questions. I have a lot of doubts. I have a lot of feelings of just like, this doesn't make me feel good. I don't believe what they're telling me. I don't like the way that people are reacting after his death. It doesn't make me feel good. I'm sharing with you my feelings and my conclusion to it all, which is just to say, I'm out. I'm not buying it. You're trying to sell me something. I'm not believing it. I'm not buying it. I'm not interacting with it. Other than this. Other than this. Save your how dare you. Save your booze for another man. For a lesser man. You know, when the girl boss CEOs hold up the sign that say cheer. Cheer about this. Okay, now here, boo at this. Oh, cheer for this. This is good. This is good stuff here. Cheer. And all the NPCs, all the masses, most people in America just go like, "Oh, cheer. Okay, yeah, cheer. I'll cheer. Yep. I'm cheering. Oh, you want me to boo now? Yeah, boo. Boo that thing. Boo. What? Okay, cheer again? Okay, yeah, I'll cheer." I'm the guy that sits there. I'm the meme, the guy, the resistance guy in the Nazi Germany that didn't throw the Heil up. I'm that guy. I'm that guy. I'm not buying it, man. The crowd can all cheer and boo when they're told to because they're easily manipulated by their emotions. They're like a slave to their feelings, their own feelings and the feelings of those around them. I can't, man. And that makes me not cool. That makes me not popular. That makes people turn off my live streams. That makes me lose friends. That makes me lose family. But I'm just not going to play the games. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to, when you tell me to say like, hey, lie about this so that you can like, what's a good example? Like, you know, hey, just if my girlfriend asks, bro, I was with you Friday night. Like, I just can't do that, dude. I don't lie. I don't play that game. I'm out, dude. Just leave me out of it. Leave me out of it because if she asks me, I'm going to tell her, like, no, no, he wasn't with me. I'm not going to lie for you. I'm not going to lie to myself. I'm not going to lie to make myself feel good or to make others feel good. And you know what? That kind of, I mean, it doesn't make me better or worse. It actually makes me probably worse because I just feel worse. You know, you take the red pill and you feel horrible. You get scared at the reality around you. You take the red pill and you start seeing truth and speaking truth. And it's freaky because we live in a world of lies. We live in a world of chaos and lies and confusion and doubt and fear and anger. So when you take that red pill, when you take the Christ pill, you just kind of stop playing everyone else's little like sinful games, everyone's little tricks and stuff, schemes and plots. Hey, I'm out. Hey, I'm out. Real or not, if this, you know, guy gets assassinated or it's a totally staged scripted event, I'm out, man. I'm not buying it. It doesn't feel right to me. People don't seem to be telling the truth. People don't seem to be having authentic reactions. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't sit right. I feel like the Holy Spirit's telling me just move on. Even in this right moment, it's like, all right, done. We're done talking about it. We're moving on because I'm just out. But the reason I said all this, I wanted to just talk about that. That's my feelings. That's my thought about what happened and what happened in the month since that happened, whether it happened or not, how they're telling us. There was a reaction, and that reaction was in a lot of ways beautiful. I mean, stuff I saw my friends posting and talking about, and stuff that like my local churches were doing in Nashville and just all over the country. Like, there was a lot of good that came out of this. Real or fake? Let's just assume for the rest of this stream, we're going to talk about it in the tone of it happened. Because in a sense, it did happen because everyone in their perception has, for the most part, come to the conclusion that it happened. So now that's just reality. Now it's just becoming like a relative fact that we all have to live with and interact with and speak about it as if it is a fact. So we'll take that tone, we'll say those words. But because of that happening, because of that bad thing happening, a lot of good came out of it. A lot of my friends that I saw were like really kind of shaken up in a good way almost. you know, kind of like, oh man, I need to take my life more seriously, or I need to love people better, or I need to be a little more compassionate and merciful, or I need to be, there's a lot of good stuff happening in individual lives and in my community and in communities everywhere, So there's a lot of good. There was a lot of awesome stuff happening, And we'll talk about it at the end. People want to throw around this word revival because of him, because of this Christian martyr. We'll talk about that at the end, but that's too far. There's a lot of good that's been happening. Let's keep it at that. Let's keep the ball rolling. Let's keep the momentum going. But also, Charlie's death, quote unquote death, brought out the best in some, like we were saying, and it also brought out the worst in some, man. It brought out wickedness. Like wickedness in people's hearts grew and was showcased for all to see immensely and starkly. Real event or not, we found out just how many tens or hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people would celebrate if I was killed, if I was murdered, if I was killed, if I died, if I was publicly assassinated in a brutal way, like a public execution by an executioner that's just some guy, some angry guy. There would be a lot of people rejoicing and celebrating that. And that doesn't feel right. It doesn't sit right. It doesn't feel good. It just can't. It kind of just can't. But, and probably your brother, probably your cousin, probably your friend growing up, your teammates in high school, whatever. Like good people out there, like, I don't know, you don't deserve to just be shot in the neck because you have opinions that people don't like. And people shouldn't really be celebrating that. That's not a good thing. People celebrate it like they scored a touchdown, Executed without trial. White Christian American man with opinions on the internet, executed without trial because people hated him. People hate me. People hate us. They want us dead. And that's not fiery rhetoric. That's not like, calm down. You're being extreme. You're being crazy. Sean's rambling again. It's like, no, they're literally getting guns and shooting us. They're getting guns. They're going to our schools. They're shooting our children. They're going to our public events, our public free speech events, where people are going to exchange ideas at the colleges, where ideas and thoughts are supposed to be exchanged and thought about and debated and discussed. And, they're getting guns, going to those places and murdering us, shooting us in the neck, shooting us in the head, man. Not punching a Nazi on the street, not, an Antifa guy at a protest punched a guy that was a counter protester because he was a quote unquote Nazi. And everyone freaks out because it's like a symbol of violence on the left against the right. Look at how violent the left is. It's like, dude, no, they're getting guns and shooting us. They're dancing about it on TikTok publicly afterwards. They're shooting us in the head. They're killing our children. And then they're laughing about it on Twitter. They're making jokes about it and dances about it on TikTok. There's evil, man. This world is evil. Our society, our neighbors are evil, man. There's a lot of darkness. There's a lot of wickedness out there. And this brought it out. This brought it out of a lot of people. Again, tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people posting stuff online, celebrating, bragging about, laughing about his death. And these people are blinded by sin. They're very distant from God's righteousness. They live amongst us. They work alongside us. They're in our families. They're in our schools. They're even in our churches. And, the mask slipped for a week. They, the wolves in sheep's clothing hiding amongst the flock took the sheepskin off and kind of exposed themselves as wolves for all with eyes to see. It was just like you can just see all of these vile, vicious, foaming at the mouth, angry people, evil, demonic people doing wicked things, saying evil, wicked stuff publicly, gleefully. They're showcasing it. They're posting it on TikTok. They're I heard people in just talking about it, saying comments at the gym, saying comments walking down the street, laughing and joking like it was a punchline. And these people, man, they mask slipped. And for about a week there, we all saw exactly who they are. Disgusting, vile, heartless, wicked people. We saw it. These people live amongst us. They're in our families, they're in our jobs, they're in our schools. They're living amongst us. It's kind of wild. It's kind of crazy. That's not very comforting. That's a little unnerving, right? I wrote, violence and pain against defenseless and innocent people should be universally accepted as bad, but not to evil people, not to hurt people without hope, who want others to feel their pain or just feel pain in general. Those distant from God's love who feel empty and alone, scared and angry, hurt and traumatized by whatever they've experienced in their time in this world. These people tend to become jealous and resentful of what others have, or the pains and struggles that other people didn't have to endure, like they had to endure. They get obsessed with justice because they know and they feel and they understand the world is not fair. But their reaction to that is to try to make others also join them in that hurt, or to make others feel pain like they have felt pain in a similar way. And they become jealous and resentful of what others have. What others have or what others did not have to go through. The pains and struggles they never had to endure. And not much is stopping them from lashing out, acting out, spreading evil, hurting the lives of others, causing other people pain. Dude, isn't that just incredible? Greatest stage for a podcast ever in history. Forgot where I left off. I guess just in summary and conclusion, man, if all these demons got angry when I died, if these wicked people celebrated as hard as they did for Charlie about me when I died, if they had to kill me to shut me up and then try to dance on my grave afterwards, must have done something good. Must have stored up a lot of treasure in heaven, doing a lot of good in this world if the bad people don't like you being here, And yeah, these people, they'll get a hold of weapons. They will attack. They will celebrate. They will mock. They will dance when you lose. When the people they hate die. They will try to shut you up. They will try to get you fired, make you uncomfortable, annoyed, sad, angry, flustered, stressed, whatever they can do to make you hurt. All they really want to do is hurt others, right? Hurt people, hurt others. All they want to do is cause the pain upon you that they feel you deserve. They feel that you deserve death or pain or punishment or strife or stress or hardships in your life because according to them, you haven't hurt like they've hurt. You haven't experienced the pain and the heartbreak and the hurt they've hurt. They've suffered through. They've had to endure. Therefore, they will seek to inflict that upon you. They will try to make you share in their hurt, their pain, or have you experience a different, maybe more gruesome, more horrible pain according to their justice, according to their opinions. If we're talking about these people, these demonic, wicked, vile people, the type of person that celebrates when an innocent 30-year-old man is brutally murdered in public without trial because of his opinions, and he leaves behind a wife and 2 kids and a family that loves him and a lot of friends, and a company that needs full of employees that depended on him, that all need him and that job to put family on their tables for their own children. There's a lot of people that could be harmed and affected by the death of a man like that. And to just laugh and joke and be gleeful, and who cares about them, him, or anyone involved or connected to him, who cares about anything they have, feel, or want. Someone that vile and wicked and vicious, man, you're probably not much better. If your response to that was to push back or fight back, or go get them fired, go expose them to their college campuses, or go expose them to their family, you're no better, man. You're doing the same thing, just in a different flavor, on a different side, with wearing a different color political shirt, You want to make them suffer. You want to make them hurt now because they're hurting you, because they have been attacking you and mocking you and hurting you. Your response as a man is to get angry and lash out in revenge against them. Well, I'm going to make them hurt. You're literally the same. You're no better. Even if you're correct, even if you're right, even if you're a believer, you're correct, you're true, you're on the winning team. If your reaction is like, well, they're making me hurt or I'm feeling hurt, therefore, I will make them hurt. I will get payback. I will get revenge. You're just as worse as them. Lost, pathetic, foolish, cowardly, controlled by your emotions, easily swayed by the things and the happenings of this world, not tied down to the rock of truth that is eternal glory and your purpose, the reason why you were created. Just become a slave to feelings. Just like them. Just like them. They have their feelings hurt. They want to hurt you. And in response, they hurt your feelings, so you want to hurt them. You're no different, man. They've been hurt. Now they want you to hurt, and that's evil. And in response, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to be evil. What? Because your evil's better? You have a better kind of evil than they have? And that justifies it? You're one of these guys that called or sent messages to people's employers or to their schools or whatever. And your rage and your sadness, and your anger, your thirst for revenge, you like literally typed up and sent messages or called people to get people fired or get people expelled or get people kicked out of their family, man. You're like literally just as gay and retarded as they are. Just as gay and retarded. But they're the evil ones. But they are the evil ones. And that excuse is your evil desires and your evil thoughts because they're bad. But it helps us. It helps our side. It helps the not evil people, politically or financially. Like it gives us an advantage in society if they have less resources, less income, less jobs, less, social capital. It's going to help us, the good guys, get leverage and positions of power and dominance over them. We can use this event to our advantage, right? And so what? Your love of stuff and status overrides your desire, your love for righteousness, your pursuit of Christ-likeness. It's going to get interrupted because of a convenient moment in time where you can hurt your political enemy and get an advantage over them. And they deserve to be punished. I can just hear it now. I can hear the arguments and the complaints now, the pushback from my bros. But they deserve it. They deserve to be punished for what they did, for what they said, for going to a Charlie Kirk memorial, getting paint and covering up a beautiful painting someone did for Charlie Kirk, going to the memorial services and honking horns and saying horrible stuff and dancing, They deserve to be punished for that. Because why? Because what? You don't trust God enough to do that? Because you don't trust that God's going to punish them for their wickedness? You don't believe in God enough that he's not going to take care of them, that you don't have to worry about it? And you're going to ignore that God has told you over and over again to forgive them? You're just going to conveniently ignore how much God has spoken into your life about how you need to forgive people and not hold on to resentment and not be full of anger and rage? You're just going to let that all go out the door because they're evil, though. Because they deserve to be punished, though. Because by doing that, I can get an advantage over them, though. And you're going to throw away your pursuit of righteousness and being a man of God and a servant and a preacher like Charlie Kirk was of the gospel to the masses. You're going to abandon that cause. You're going to ignore your mission and your calling to be a good man, to draw closer to God every day, to spread his righteousness in your own heart and to the hearts of others around you. But now you're sad, though. But now you're angry, though. So you get to just be bad to people. You get to your new mission, you're gonna pause your mission, your walk with God. You're gonna put that on pause for a few days, and you're gonna go write some angry emails to try to get some people you don't like fired. It's not only retarded, it's really pathetic and really weak. And some people I really respected were like doing that and advocating for that. And yeah, man, it just made me really bummed out. It made me bummed out that people are so easily swayed by their feelings. You know, that people are really people I'm friends with, people I know, people I trust and respect in a lot of ways, who are typically very strong and put together and composed. Yet I saw a lot of weak, pathetic, cowardly behavior from them after this all, because they're a slave to their feelings, and that excuses their own evil. They get to excuse their evil actions because other people did evil actions. So what now? So if you're still here, if you're still listening to me, if you don't hate me for one thing or another I've said on this stream or any of my streams, you know that like I'm going to advocate for something, right? I'm going to give some advice. I'm going to give some encouragement. I'm going to share my thoughts, and I'm going to just read those so we don't take all day here. But separate yourselves from them. Those wicked people, yes, separate yourself from them. You shouldn't be friends with them. You shouldn't be dating them. You shouldn't be involving yourself with evil people unless it's literally you're on mission to stop them from being evil. If you're going to try to convert them to the faith, if you're going to try to draw them away from the darkness and towards the light of God, yes, go there. Jesus went to the tax collectors and to the prostitutes to bring them out of the hell they were living in, to bring them out of their wickedness. Hey, prostitutes, come with me. Stop being evil. Come have dinner with me. Come enjoy my presence and my righteousness. Come enjoy and seek out and go to God and his right ways and away from the evil that you've done and you've been living in. If you're not doing that, then you shouldn't even be interacting with them. You should be removed from them. You should be separated from them. See them, remember them, all they did and all they said in these moments of weakness. The moments where the mask came off and they showed you who they really are, remember that. See them. Remember that. Don't forget it. And ignore them, ostracize them, choose not to associate with them, choose not to employ them or to hire them to begin with, but also forgive them, but also have mercy on them. They know not what they do, man. They're blind by their sin. They are like you, pushed and pulled by the events and things and the happenings of their life because they don't have a firm foundation based on the hope of what Christ did for us and our destination in the end, our victory in the end, and the home that we all go to in the end. They are not certain of that. They are not promised that because of their lack of faith, because of their sins that have made them blind, that have made them so evil and horrible. Those people are to be pitied and have mercy on. Those are the people to be forgiven. They know not what they do. We have to forgive them. As much as that sucks, as much as that's unfair, we Christian men, we have to be the forgivers. It starts with us. Revenge and payback is so weak and pathetic, man. It's so pathetic. Just let them be, man. Let them be. You don't join them. Don't become blind like they are in an attempt to not make them blind. Stop them from being blind. So yeah, all people were little babies one time. We're all cute little innocent babies made in the image of God. Like brought into this world and destroyed by it. Like infected with the sin of this world, the fallenness of this world, the experiences, the environments that little cute little baby that was born had to face, all the experiences, all the environments it faced throughout its whole life, made it that blind, made it that lost, made it that wicked and vile and evil, made them behave that way. The traumas they endured, the pains, the heartbreaks, everything they had to face caused them to become who they are today. Just like you, just like me. I mean, we are a collection of our experiences, right? We are who we were born to be. We are also our environment, and we are also our experiences. We've all endured hardships and traumas, pains. We've overcome, we've lost, and we've won, man. And every one of us at one point was an innocent little baby. And even still, we're still a child of God, lost or found, saved or unsaved, who's deserving of mercy and deserving of forgiveness. And it sucks, man. It's hard to do that. Because also at a certain point, their choices, their rebellion, them now as adults are now choosing to manipulate the environment and manipulate the experiences of other people, right? And we want to stop them from doing that. We have this inclination to stop them, to use our force and ability to like prevent the sin from happening. In a foolish attempt to what? Stop sin? Like, we live in a sin-sick world, bro. You're not going to stop sin. The point of this world is it's sinful, and we need to overcome it in Christ. We are never going to, with an iron fist, stop sin. You know? All you're going to do is, with an iron fist, hurt people. You're gonna retaliate to being hurt, or people's attempts to hurt you, by hurting them. You're gonna attempt to stop their sin with force. Okay, what does that look like? Killing them? Killing a being that was made in the image of God, that still had time left in its life? A person a lost soul, a blind soul, who still could have been converted, who still could have been added to the kingdom of heaven one day. And unlike them, unlike these people, like, let's not forget who they are, let's not unsee it, but unlike them, who won't do this, and it sucks, and it's not fair, but we must be the forgivers. We must be the ones who forgive them and have mercy on them, for they know not what they do, because they don't, and because Jesus did. We must forgive and we must have mercy because Jesus did. You want it simply? You want to not take my word for it, or not my advice for it? You know what Jesus has to say about this? He forgave his accusers and murderers from a cross, bro. He was brutally, unjustly murdered on a cross. Extremely unfair, extremely painful. And yet he forgave his accusers. He forgave his punishers. He forgave the ones who carried out the execution, who accused him, the crowd that cheered him on. We want Barabbas. Crucify him. And Jesus forgave them anyways. So you can forgive the person that said and did mean things to you. You know, that person that on the internet that said mean things about a guy you liked, or that guy on the internet that said mean things about you, or, you know, the symbol of you. Yeah, you can forgive them, bro. You don't have to get revenge on them. You don't have to ruin their lives. You don't have to hurt them. You're only going to make them want to hurt more people. And you're only going to lead them away from righteousness. You're only going to push them away from righteousness, and you yourself, in your attempt to push them, will also stray away from righteousness. You can forgive, bro. Trust me. Hey, bro. Trust me. You can forgive. You can forgive, man. Be aware of evil. Be on guard against it. Take notes. Remember what they said. Remember what they did to you, to others, about others. Like, know who they are. Set boundaries. Avoid them. Choose not to associate with them. Don't let them in your church. Exile them from your life. Ostracize them. Stay away. All perfectly reasonable examples. Again, I'm out. I will see myself out. I do not want to associate with you. I'm out. But lashing back at them, man, actively seeking to get them fired or expelled, make them hurt emotionally or physically or financially or socially, trying to make them angry, sad, scared, confused. It's nothing short of pathetic and cowardly and sinful, Christian man. Your attempts at revenge are prideful, and they are not loving. They are not Christ-like. Wrath is not good. even if it makes you feel relief or gets you what you crave. Nobody is beyond forgiveness. As much as that sucks, dude. They chanted, "We want Barabbas." They chanted, "Crucify him." And yet Christ forgave them, Even those people, they're looking at the most innocent man ever, whoever was and will be, the most innocent man ever about to be murdered for nothing. And when the people were given a choice, do you want the innocent man to go free or the guilty man to go free? They yelled, "We want the guilty man. Release the guilty man. We want Barabbas. Give us the guilty man. He's more like us." He's more like us. He's causing us less pain. Those people, those despicable people who saw Jesus Christ on the podium, on the chopping block, and they said, "No, kill him, murder him, get him away from us. We don't want anything to do with him. We don't want him changing what we have going on here. We reject him. We're going to kill him and murder him, the most innocent man that's ever lived, the only truly perfect and innocent man that's ever lived." And yet they wanted him dead. And those people, that crowd of people could possibly be like the lowest of low. His accusers, his murderers, and the crowd of people that joined in supporting them all, cheering on the death of the innocent man. What could be more like vile and disgusting and evil than that? And when Jesus was suffering and brutally being tortured in that death that he didn't deserve, on that cross for you, for me, he forgave them. And I know it's not easy. It's never easy to forgive, ever. Some way, way harder than others. It's easy to forgive my bro for misspeaking to me one time. It's another thing if they betray me. It's another thing if they murder me, murder my family or something, mock the death of a guy I like. It can be really tough to forgive, man, but we have to. We must. It is possible, and we must. Atheists, commies, terrorists, leftists, trannies, all must be forgiven, bro. It's possible. It's doable. And you have to. Not forgotten, not accepted, not excused, but forgiven for the evil that they do to you and to others. Have mercy on them. They are lost. They are blind. And they will be punished someday severely. Don't join them. Don't join them. Let go and let God take care of it, man. And there's obviously lines that get crossed where self-defense is needed at certain points from your enemies. Your enemies attack you. The enemies are destroying you, taking control of your government so they can use it as a weapon against you, Christ-following man. There's times to rise up. There's times to fight back. There's times to be in power and use power righteously. But seeking revenge against your neighbor, against someone on social media or something, like that desire inside of you that is that fire that goes, "Oh, this isn't fair. I'm now angry. I want to hurt them." That's literally what they're doing. And you're just poking each other's eyes out, eye for an eye, eye for an eye, eye for an eye, eye for an eye, until literally the whole world is blind. We as the Christian men, the Christ-following men, stand up, stand on business, and we turn the other cheek. And there's times where, if someone's shooting a gun at you, you don't turn the other cheek so they can shoot you in the head. We'll get into that in a later episode of when to stand your ground. What is self-defense? What does that look like in a biblical Christian way? But something like this, we're talking about hurt feelings, man. We're talking about words. We're talking about social media. We're talking about conversations and nonviolent interactions. We're talking about opinions. Charlie Kirk was killed for his opinions. That's unfair. You getting someone fired for their opinions, it's also not fair, man. 6 years now as a follower of Christ. And I've been mocked, ridiculed, censored, banned, kicked off of social media platforms for my faith, exiled from my family, from friends, lost money, lost jobs. Family and friends have done horrible stuff for me because to me, at me, against me. They've left me, they've harmed me, they've done bad things to me, man. Because of my faith, because of who I am. White, Christian, American man. Take your pick. People hate all four of those things. I'm white, I'm an American, I'm a Christian, I'm a man. Those are like four of the most on things on target right now from wicked, vile, evil people. From my own family, from friends, from people in my community, from people who run the social media networks, et cetera, you know. And COVID wasn't very pleasant for me. I mean, start to finish, I didn't wear a mask at all. I didn't take any vaccine. I pushed back against it all. I mocked it all. I thought it was all silly. And I got a lot of pushback from a lot of people. I got a lot of vile, wicked, evil shit said to me, thrown my way, man. Friends, people I thought were like really good friends or like literally family members, said and did horrible things to me after my dad died and after COVID, during COVID. And it sucks forgiving them. It seems impossible to forgive these people. It's really unfair. It's really uncool. And again, the mask comes off and you see who they really are. And that's freaky because you knew them as the person with that mask on and you thought you knew them and loved them and respected them. And then that mask slips, falls off, and they just show you how evil they really are. How much of a betrayal they can cause you, how much they can steal from you, how much they can hurt you, how much they can hurt you in all the ways. Socially, financially, emotionally, physically. And yet even still, we have to forgive. We have to be the forgivers. And then we as men have to be the leaders in society that start being the forgivers. We can't keep pointing around saying like, but they're not, but the women aren't, but our pastors aren't, but our peers aren't, but the unbelievers aren't, but that other country's not. At a certain point, Christian men, we have to step up and go, you know what? It sucks. It's hard. It's unfair. Not a lot of people are joining us in this, but we're going to turn the other cheek. We're going to forgive. We're not going to reciprocate the evil that was done to us or said to us with more evil. We are going to stop the eye for an eye spreading of evil. We're going to turn to God in his right ways. And we're going to see the example he's set for us, which is to forgive our enemies. They know not what they do. Have mercy on them. They are blind by the sin. They are blind by the world, the sin-sick world they've lived in, they've experienced. And unlike you, they are not found yet. And that sucks, and that's not fair to them. When you're in heaven one day, experiencing the treasures that you've stored up for yourself there by the works you've done here, that's not fair when they're not going to be there. So you right now in this moment, not being able to forgive someone or let something go because of that urge inside you, that fire inside you that says, I'm going to do what they did back. I'm going to hurt them like they hurt me. I'm going to get an advantage over them. Try to prevent them from ever doing evil ever again. With an iron fist, stop sin from happening. Well, it's not going to work. It's stupid. It's unrighteous. It's unrecommended. It's not fair. It's difficult, but we have to forgive them. We have to have mercy, man. I'm repeating myself. I'll stop. Sorry. My last year was miserable, man. My last year was miserable. My last 6 years as a Christian has been pretty tough, pretty challenging. But I am basically Charlie Kirk. I mean, I am a white Christian American man, like on the internet with opinions more extreme than him. It could have been me. It could be me one day. And yet I'm still someone who's willing to forgive those people. Forgive the people that would kill me if they had the chance, and also the people who would celebrate about it if someone did it. I forgive them. It's not easy. It's not hard. It sucks. It's not fair, but man, I want to be as Christ-like as possible. I want to be just like him. Like in every way, right? I want to pursue his right ways, his righteousness. And I can't do that if I'm just going to be held up on this, like, but I want revenge, but I want to see them hurt like I was hurt. I choose to forgive, man. I choose mercy. I choose the stupid and the unpopular and the weak response. Call me weak, call me a coward, call me stupid, man. I'll take it. I'll take it. And I'll take it because it is the righteous response. It's the response that God wants from us, expects from us. It sucks. It isn't fun. It isn't fair. But it is what we were called to do. So we'll touch on this real briefly, but I've seen this word revival getting thrown around by friends and churches and stuff following the death of Charlie Kirk. Yeah, I mean, revival is not this. True revival is authentic, right? It's not scripted, it's not broadcasted, it's not funded, it's not promoted. It won't include podcast appearances or fireworks on your entrance to the podium to give a speech, It's not going to involve policy speeches and government positioning, candidates for president in the next election cycle, getting on stage and speaking. Revival is not going to look like that. True revival happens when men turn back to God. They turn back to his church. They turn back to his right ways. Revival is going to happen when men start reading their Bibles, when they start praying, when they start fasting, when they start being baptized and baptizing others, when they start to disciple others, when they start to serve their community, when they start to tithe, when they start to be about the business that Christ is about, which is saving souls, which is leading lost souls to him. That is the business that Christ was about. Christ didn't deal in currencies. I guess he was a carpenter for a little bit, but his mission on earth, his ministry, was about leading the lost souls back into righteousness, leading the blind into the light so they may see again, leading those evil, wicked people away and out of the darkness and towards him. That was his business. And if we're going to stand on that same business, it needs to be for real. It needs to be for real. We need to be becoming Christ-like, and we need to be getting our boys with us and becoming more Christ-like together. And we need to be going and getting the strangers out there, the unbelievers out there, and bringing them with us into righteousness. Be about the business of Christ, for real. Not feeling good and clapping and cheering and getting revenge on your enemies and praying a little bit, feeling good about yourself because you had like a sentimental connection, a sentimental moment with these people and this production. It's not revival, man. It's just not. Men doing like real, actual, biblical, spiritual disciplines for real, for God. That is what will cause revival. Not so they can benefit and profit and win themselves here and now in this earth, but people, men, and I say men, who take their faith seriously for the right reasons. Enough of those men, the momentum starts building on that. The crowds start growing. The men return to church. The men start being courageous and speaking up. That is going to be revival. You want to throw that word around? You're not going to look around and see children and old women in churches with lukewarm pastors preaching messages that might as well be TED Talks. That's not revival, man. Some prayers done for a couple weeks after a guy dies, a public figure dies. Like, I'm sorry, your church attendance may have increased a little bit. It's not revival, and your church attendance will drop in a month when people forget about this and move on. Real revival will be caused by men doing spiritual disciplines. For real, for the right reasons, for God. Revival is not going to look like temporary increased church attendance because of a tragedy or because of an event, or a holiday season's coming up. Revival isn't going to happen because some scripture ends up on a bunch of screens for a week. Like, okay, cool. A bunch of screens now have scripture on it. People are seeing scripture. Great, cool. Or, that really good, emotional, powerful music was played at a convention or, publicly at an award show or something, right? It's not revival, man. True revival will happen when the men, the leaders, the pastors, the fathers find faith again. the faith that has been lost clearly in this country, in our churches. When faith is found again by the leaders, the pastors, the men of the church, when faith is found and when serious action is done about it. True revival will happen when men, for real, start loving God and serving God, pursuing God in their every minute, in their every day, in their whole lives. A pursuit of God and his righteousness, for real, in their hearts and their hands, in their mind, in their thoughts, and in their hands, their actions, their heart and their hands, right? That'll cause revival. You get enough people doing that, man, then you can start throwing around that word. Then I'll accept that word being thrown around. Until then, I don't give you guys permission. Until then, I don't give you permission to say that. But until men start loving and serving God, serving him, key word there, don't forget that, don't pass over that. Courageously, sacrificially, honestly, boldly, together, united together for his sake, you'll see revival. You'll see the true sense of that word. You know, being cool, being popular, being liked, being powerful, being opportunistic, whatever it may be, like, that won't cause revival. Faith will. And it starts with us. It starts with us, my dudes. Sucks. It isn't fair. I love being a dude. Being a dude's awesome. Shout out, dudes. What up, my dudes? But also with being a dude comes a lot of responsibility. Comes a lot of like higher expectations. A lot of sacrifice that need to be made. A lot of unfair crap we have to put up with that women and children just don't, right? We as men turn to God, turn back to his righteousness. We start doing his right. We start pursuing him and his righteousness for the right reasons. And we're headed off into that direction, dedicated and determined to get there. Women and children will follow. They have to follow. Like, logically, they have to follow, but they will instinctively follow. We are the leaders. God made us men. He put us in that position of leadership for a reason. He gave us a responsibilities. We are held accountable to a much higher standard. And a lot of it is because we instinctually are the leaders. We're the goers, we're the doers, we're the builders, the growers, the crushers. We are the providers, the protectors. We're the goers. We are the action makers. And the women and children are the followers. And if men kind of just sit around on their couches complaining about women, complaining about how much life sucks, complaining about how hard their life is and, you know, their problems, their struggles all day, and is doing nothing about it, and is turning not to God, but to himself to solve his own problems, being swayed by his emotions and his feelings, that man won't be followed. You know, we right now have a problem in church, which is men aren't showing up, they're not leading, therefore they're not being followed. And now the men are complaining that they're not being followed because they're not doing the first most important step, which is leading. You want to be followed? You want to be submitted to? You want your woman to submit to you? You want women in general to stop being such like feminist bitches and like obey and be feminine and be cool and not insane and crazy and, you know, unaccountable for their actions and yada, yada, yada. All the complaints I hear that are, a lot of them are valid. Most of them are valid. Not all, but most. But we love to complain about the state of women and the state of society today because of women. And in summary, it's because they're not following. Why? Ask yourself why. Maybe it's because they don't actually have good leaders. Maybe it's because their leaders are themselves or are other women or are men who are not headed in the right direction. They are following men who are gay, who are atheists, who are sinners, who don't care. They might even call themselves Christian, but they're out being debaucherous and sinful and loving it. The leaders in society are not headed in the direction of God. They're headed into the direction of the opposite of hell. They are leading everyone with them to hell. You want revival? Men, me and you, it starts with us, then it ripples out everywhere to the men who are believers and just men who are, grow up and become a believer. Stop being a little baby boy and come on, get real, get right. God's clearly real. He's clearly calling you. He made you, he loves you, and he has a mission and a purpose for you. Clearly. Obviously, it isn't obvious to you by now, you listening to this. But we as men must turn to God, head into the direction of him and his right ways, boldly first, not waiting for the women to catch up to us, not waiting for the women to do it first, not waiting for the children to figure it out. We have to sacrifice. We have to be bold and courageous, take risks, do the hard thing, endure the suffering, endure the heartbreak, the pain, the mockery, the whatever it is. Insert problem and complaint you have here. Put it aside, pursue God and his right ways, and they will follow. I'll stop repeating myself. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for putting up with me. Just follow me as I follow Christ. Follow me as I follow Christ. And hey, you out there, have that mindset. You follow me as I follow Christ, and then the people in your life should be following you as you follow Christ. Men of this country must choose to be unpopular, choose to be uncool, choose to do the hard, difficult thing, the risky, bold thing, the courageous thing, have to be honest, have to be willing to stand on business when it comes to preaching God and his word, his right ways, and have to be for real about pursuing those. For real about your faith and for real about the works that follows. And when we get enough men doing that, man, when I start doing that and you start doing that and we start getting our boys to do that and they start getting their boys and their cousins and their friends and the people at their schools, and we get momentum moving on men becoming serious about their faith and the works that follow from their faith, that's when you'll have revival. And I will not allow that word. I won't allow you to use it until then. Until I see that happen, until my opinion is that that's happening, I don't allow you to use that word. I don't like it. But that's just my thoughts. That's my opinions. These are my feelings. These are my thoughts. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for enjoying this beautiful, just beautiful place. One of the most beautiful places on planet Earth. Thank you for listening to me rant and ramble beneath the Teton Mountains. I'm going to go over there. Get into La Jefa, and we're going to be on our way to Idaho. We spent the last week and a half here in Yellowstone and in the Tetons. And it's just, it's about time we move on our merry way, on to the next adventure. Go love and serve more people. Go shine the light and love of Christ out to more people in more places. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for putting up with me. Have a blessed rest of your day. I love you because Jesus loves you. And I hope you know that. I hope you know that's true. I hope you know that's real and feel that's real. And I hope you, just at the end of the day, turn to God and his righteousness. Just trust me, bro. Just trust me. And until next episode, man, have a good one. I'll see you guys.